So we made the decision to sort of take the longer road to building a girls section first of all, effectively building a base of playing numbers and then creating a women's team off the back of that. So we literally started with maybe half a dozen girls under the age of 11, and slowly but surely more and more girls joined, and then about 7 or 8 years after that we had enough players coming through the system to start a women's team, and sort of since then it's then been very sustainable. So we've always got that kind of pipeline of players to keep sustaining the women's team. So a number of years we started our ankle biters set up, and that's effectively for reception age children. So the ECB then a few years later brought in All Stars, which is a national programme basically targeting year 1, year 2 aged school kids. So I think we embraced All Stars and effectively rebranded our ankle biters for that purpose. And I think the exposure the ECB gave that in terms of national advertising, etc., that helped. But we already had a track record in bringing in younger players. So certainly we used the national campaigns, and we work really closely with local schools. But it's also one of those things that once you get a certain number of players, you know, they bring a friend from school, they bring a friend from another club, another sports club or another activity club, and it just builds and it grows from there. The first thing that's really important is having a pathway, having effectively a process the girls can go through to develop their cricket and such like. So a lot of clubs potentially, you know, maybe have a team up until the age of 11 or 13, but then at that point they've got nowhere else to progress to, so they drift away or they leave the game. So for us it was important to have that structure all the way through to adult cricket. So we now have an under 9s, under 11s, under 13s, under 15s pathway, and then from there, from year 8 upwards, they can play senior cricket, play adult cricket. Currently we've got 3 women's teams plus an under 19s and a social team. So they give slightly different cricket opportunity to players. So the first team now in the highest division in the county would be our sort of advanced level cricketers. The second team are maybe more about younger cricketers developing and becoming better players. The third team's almost like an introduction to hardball team, so it might be the first experience that a young player has of adult cricket, but it's done in a slightly less competitive, more enjoyable environment. The social team is friendlies, and it is for players maybe coming to cricket later in life or enjoying the Prosecco cricket experience as they do. So I think each team enables all those players coming through the system to get a version of cricket that they enjoy. Starting out with half a dozen players, you know, sort of 10, 12 years ago, you know, we've now got over 90 under 15s girls playing cricket at the club, and another sort of 40 who are eligible for women's cricket. So very strong numbers on that. When you look at the leagues, you know, the first women's league started with 8 teams in it in one division. Now it's got 5 divisions and sort of 40 clubs, 60 teams. We were ready to ride the wave that you know couldn't necessarily be predicted, but it felt like it was coming. So, you know, we had already had the setup, we had the players coming through. So when that momentum picked up and, you know, games were shown on Sky Sports, etc., I think we were well placed to capitalise on that. But absolutely, we'd made a really good start. And actually to see players not only progress in the game, but actually move to a point where they can make a living out of it or related to the game, I think that kind of reminds you of what it's all about ultimately. And certainly we've had some great examples here of that, and hopefully many more to come.